I am so excited about this video series that I'm doing for you guys right now, the Teach Your Baby series. So let's get into it. If you are one of my subscribers who have been here with me for a while, you know that I'm really passionate about parents getting involved in teaching their children early on. I think it's great bonding and it helps them become more confident in their academics later. I know you like that, right? But if you're new here, hi, my name is Brittany Kelly. I'm a mom of 4. I just had a baby, my 4th baby 2 months ago. I have a 3-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 5-year-old. So I just want to start this video right away and start telling you what you need to do as far as laying foundational skills for your newborn ages 0 to 3 months old. So what you're going to learn is what is reading, right? What is that all about? Then we're going to talk about the benefits of teaching your baby to read at such a young age instead of waiting later on and doing all the drilling. But then we're going to get right into what you can do, some of the skills that you can start laying right now that are going to build the foundation for teaching your baby how to read by the time they're like 3 years old. I know, exciting. So what is reading? How do you go from those little black marks on a white page to having your imagination take you to a faraway land that a fiction book has described? Well, let's start at the beginning. First, you have to have thought and memory. And then from there, you have speech. However, speech only happens in one place at one time. If you weren't there to hear it, that's it. You missed it. So you need to have writing in order to make speech portable and timeless. I can read Shakespeare's thoughts right now, even though he's not here, through his writing. So that is where you now get reading. You are on the end, the receiving end of communication. Something that you really want to think about and be encouraged to teach and exposing your children to. Just is such a beautiful art and such a beautiful thing that we have as far as just being able to connect with one another over space and time. Now, I speak English, so my video is going to talk primarily, solely actually, about teaching your child to read and the foundational skills in English. Now, English requires 2 skills for you to actually be considered a reader. You need to be able to decode phonetically, and you need to be able to recognize or memorize high frequency words or sight words, because not all words in the English language follow decoding rules. So you'll have words that completely do not sound out the way they are spelled, and you need to know what those words are. Now, in order for you to have great phonetics, you need to first start with phonemes. But I'm not going to talk about that in this video. I'm going to do it in another. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. It's so important for you to click all for the notifications so that you don't miss this video when it drops. Well, here's one thing. I think it is very beneficial to start when they're really young because you only need a few minutes a day. That's it. It's not a lot, and it actually compounds over time if you are consistent. And this is much better of an experience to me for both parent and baby compared to drilling later on when they're school aged and you have all the stress of them being graded by their teachers or having to perform at a certain level, and then there's this pressure that you have as the parent to make sure they're there. They have the pressure that they feel coming at them from both parent and teacher, and now everybody is just miserable and possibly not enjoying learning anymore. I might be being extreme, but sometimes that really happens for children and a lot of people. So we kind of want to get ahead of that and start younger so that it can be solid for them to really enjoy reading books and all things academic. All right, now that all that has been covered, we can get into the actual things that I do with my newborn babies, age 0 to 3 months old, that helps build those skills that will be built upon for them to learn how to read by the time that they are 3 years old. So how to start? I'm going to go over 4 developmental areas where you can actually build up skills that are going to lay that foundation for your baby to want to read. First, we're going to go over visual skills, listening skills, the joy of reading, and communication. The first skill that we will need to focus on is visual. So understand that babies, when they're first born, they cannot see very well. So we don't try to teach them sight words at this point, decoding, or phonics. We really focus now on helping them build that visual ability of tracking. Now, reading goes from left to right, top to bottom. So you want to take some objects or even your face, your fingers, and move in that direction. Move in the direction of the reading, and it will help the child develop the strength to be able to visually see in that way. Also, you want to make sure that whenever you are reading to your baby and showing them books, that you are facing them. And when you are facing them, exaggerate your facial expressions. Even freeze them sometimes, because newborns are really taking in this information. They are very stimulus sensitive. So you want to make sure that they are really capturing your facial expressions, your excitement. They love faces, so make sure your face is always facing them when you're reading to them. Listening skills. If you have been a follower of mine, you know what I'm about to say right now. You need to narrate your day. Children need to become interested in communication by having plenty of the most basic way that we communicate, which is through speech. So you need to try to aim for 30,000 words per day with your little one, and you can do that by narrating your day. We are going to change your diaper. Let's do it. Let's change it. Up. Come on, sit up. Mwah. She's clean. The joy of reading. Now, for all of these skills, you want to try to be consistent over time. I said that before, and I really want to drive that home, that consistency is key. You don't need a big, huge, elaborate plan. You just need less than 5 minutes a day, but just try to be consistent. However, the joy of reading is more important than your consistency plan. So make sure that you stay focused on the fact that they need to enjoy learning. So if during the normal time that you read to your baby, or your baby normally does certain activities around learning, and they seem to be upset, or they're crying, or they're just out of sorts, do not do it. Wait for another time. Just wait. It's more important that they not associate any negativity or being forced into doing this than you stick to your schedule. You don't want to be so rigid that you go that direction. Communication. So one of the ways that I think communication can be taught really well when a child is very little is through American Sign Language. I taught all of my babies to sign, and I'm teaching my newborn, who is my 4th child, to sign right now. And I think this is an amazing thing to add to your learning experience, because it kind of makes speaking a dance, and it makes it more interesting, and the child is actually able to communicate back with you before they can even speak. So all of your reading to them later on, showing them sight words when they're a little bit older than a newborn, you will be able to actually ask them questions, and they can actually sign back to you the answer. And it is the cutest, most exciting thing to see them do this. So I definitely think that this is one of the things that you want to implement, and start doing it now when they are newborn, so that you get into the routine of doing it. If you haven't seen my video yet, I have a video up on how to teach your baby American Sign Language. Super easy. I learned 300 signs. So continue watching all of the videos from this Teach Your Baby series by clicking this playlist. So much valuable information. So I cannot wait to see you in the next video as well. Okay, time to click the playlist.